we've also got some breaking news right now, so we want to check in with CBS's Mark Strassman. He is in Georgia, where they're having a big problem counting some of the votes. Mark?
Nora, this is an election return watch party here on the edge of Atlanta. These are mostly excited Democrats because when's the last time Georgia thought of itself as a battleground state? After record early returns and essentially a day of problem-free voting, there is now a hitch in the tabulation of votes. I'm standing in Fulton County. Fulton County includes a chunk of Atlanta. Downtown Atlanta is State Farm Arena, where the Atlanta Hawks play. They are tabulating the absentee ballots of Fulton County, Georgia's most populous county. A water pipe has broken inside the arena. They had counted 86,000 absentee ballots. We don't know how many more they have yet to tabulate, but all the tabulation of those ballots has now stopped. We're told by election officials they may not finish tabulating those votes for a day or two. So depending how close the rest of the state is, we may not know the result of this critical battleground state for another day or two. That is because, again, a water pipe is broken in State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena is where they were counting the absentee ballots of Georgia's most populous county, and now the tabulation has stopped. Big development here.
But Mark, do you know how many ballots we're talking about? What that means?
We don't know. We've asked that question, Gail, and we haven't got an answer for that yet. We know that there were 86,000, but apparently it's a very labor-intensive process, and what they are telling us is that it's going to take a day or two, which suggests to me that they have a lot to go.
The irony is that across the country, so many of these major league sports teams open up their arenas to allow people to vote and to do exactly what Mark has said. Tabulate them in a big open space so they can be done quickly, but nobody accounted for the plumbing, I guess.
Fulton County has a history of voting issues, and despite careful preparations tonight, another one causing a long delay for people processing thousands of absentee ballots. Joe Hankey is at State Farm Arena. Joe, of all the times for a plumbing issue.
That is right, Cheryl. Early this morning, we were told there was a water main break above the room I'm standing in here at State Farm Arena. And right now they are counting the absentee ballots, but earlier today, because of that water main break, they lost about 2 hours of work on the absentee ballot processing. So they are trying to make up that time now. They currently are getting through the absentee ballots. All the ballots being processed behind me are the ballots that were received today by the 7 p.m. Fulton County deadline, or state deadline, excuse me, for absentee ballots to be received by the counties. They currently don't have an estimate of when the absentee ballot counting will be done here in Fulton County, but as of 7:30, they still had 30,000 ballots, according to the county, to process. We're told, of course, they're going to go through every single one of those ballots, and once they're done counting them, then the absentee process will be complete. But the good news is no ballots or election-related machine were damaged by that water main break early this morning. Around Fulton County, 99% of the precincts, it was smooth sailing, very few delays, short lines around the county. So that is the good news. And now they're on to the counting process, just a little delayed here in Fulton County tonight. Cheryl?
Fulton County has a history of voting issues. Fulton County has a history of voting issues. Fulton County has a history of voting issues. Fulton County has a history of voting issues, and despite Fulton County has a history of voting issues and despite history of voting issues.
Team is pointing to newly released surveillance video from State Farm Arena as evidence of election fraud. Our chief investigator, Brendan Keefe, joins us. Brendan, another important opportunity here to separate fact from fiction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we first saw the video in yesterday's state Senate hearing, but state investigators confirm they've had this video for weeks and determined that Fulton was legally counting ballots. But there is more to the story.
Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table.
Supporters of the president are calling it Suitcase Gate.
We call it a suitcase.
But those are not suitcases. 11 Alive has confirmed they're the standard ballot containers used by Fulton County.
The video shows is that they have pulled out plastic bins from underneath the desks. Those are bins that they keep under their desks near the scanners.
They've investigated this repeatedly, that they had a monitor on site the entire time. And frankly, this has been debunked for weeks by our Secretary of State's office.
Hi, Johnny's
What
seen the video.
evidence?
Your officials need to watch the video.
They did. The video is not new. State investigators reviewed the State Farm surveillance tapes weeks ago. Gabriel Sterling with the Secretary of State's office tweeted the 90-second video of election workers purporting to show fraud was watched in its entirety by Georgia Secretary of State investigators, shows normal ballot processing.
That the press reported there was, like, I suppose, water break or water main break or pipe break or whatever, and that this was an excuse for people clearing out of State Farm Arena.
The water pipe leak and the events on the surveillance video did not happen on the same night. Those two events occurred 17 hours apart. How do we know? We were there.
Early this morning, we were told there was a water main break above the room I'm standing in here at State Farm Arena.
That live report was hours before the surveillance video of the room clearing. The workers leading were those who opened the ballot envelopes, and once they were done processing that batch, they went home.
At about 10 o'clock, there was one person working the polls who told everyone in the room to leave.
They began letting certain people go. No announcement was ever made to leave, for anyone to leave.
Was anyone actually told to leave, or just that they were done counting? Republican monitors claim they were forced out.
They were made to leave, so it was done in contravention of the statute.
Both 11 Alive journalists on site that night independently confirmed to me that they were not told to leave. They were told counting was done.